Jesus loves me. This I know. Why are you still awake? You're supposed to be down. Because you're a 5-year-old that refuses to eat on time. Well, because you got to drink your juice. Gosh dang it.
Stay is not unlocked. I'm not looking at this.
Of course you would, you ninny. Twitch for the Xbox needs an update.
Oops, I have no. Oh wait, no mind, it's yours. I thought that was mine for a moment. I'm like, oh, someone's going back.
Do I have to be on the same desktop as?
I don't know, buddy.
Oh, that could make me sad.
What happened?
Oh, I'm setting up a backup for Twitch.
That way, if I
Just
go,
in case Joe goes
if
down.
I go down, then Ben's got us backed up.
But I was having a problem adding a window capture. Or maybe it's a browser source, isn't it?
I'm hearing somebody going on in the background though.
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to mute their Twitch.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was me.
It's alright.
Okay. I was like, whoa, what's that?
No, you gotta make your tummy better. Alright guys, it is 9 o'clock. Malachi, are you gonna be good? Yeah. Alright. Alright, are we ready?
Ready to go.
What?
Not you, buddy. I'm talking online. Alright, folks. Welcome to Word Art Online, the Writers Hangout, popular by most internet standards and demand. I'm your host, Joe, and I'm getting my Twitch thing set up on Xbox so I can take a look here.
We have a brand new channel, so it's kind of...
Yep, we are on a brand new channel. For those of you that are watching over on our respective streams, that is Shadowfix, that is a alert mute. Sorry about that. For those that are watching us over on our respective streams, if you would like to come over to the Word Art Online Hangout, we want to make sure that you're able to chat with us. And you can find us here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can also find us on the YouTubes, where we do recaps and stuff like that of things going on. I'd really like to welcome everybody for episode 22. This is going to be exciting.
We're getting up there.
Which 21,
So,
but
shh. We've got some missing episodes down there somewhere.
We'll find them.
sorry about the cat, guys. The cat's going crazy.
It's alright. So,
No,
guys, how about we go through...
Who's logged into Word Art?
For, what do you mean?
I think it's just Joe.
Joe, are you actually logged into Word Art?
No.
Oh, then I guess I will go. I'm logged into Dr. Goofy, not Word Art, so to make us mods of the thing.
We're having technical issues. Let me get rid of the technical setup thing
No,
here.
it's just his first setup. So let's go ahead and keep talking. I will just open Safari in the background, which will be opposite of my Firefox, and all will be fine in the world.
Yes, it's past
We'll get it
8:30, buddy.
figured out.
I've got a 5-year-old in the background that's having a little issues, so...
Yeah, 5-year-olds
exciting.
do. Soon
Yep.
you'll be a 6, and then what will you do?
Yep.
All right, so should we get a fresh stream going while we finish the rest of this?
We can.
Did Matt just get auto-tuned?
Sounded like it.
Did I? I don't know.
For like 2 seconds, you were auto-tuned.
Everything sounds better
So our-
auto-tuned.
First, we're supposed to, I
I'm a
guess,
song.
introduce ourselves.
Hi, Daddy. Hi,
You have to do the music and all that, but we gotta get a fresh.
I'm not gonna load up music on my computer because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose the stream.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing this safe right now.
Hi.
Huh?
Rachel's back online and somebody paid for her, and I asked her how her druid leveling would go. It's like, doing it with that guy. I'm like, that's kind of personal, isn't it?
We're live here.
I don't care.
Hi.
You're on candid camera.
It won't hear me.
It's technical setup. It's fine.
Watch for you.
Technical setup is always fine.
Are you gonna be up there?
It will be yeah?
There you are. Oh, he's so precious. He's such a precious boy. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Special guest Malachi.
Yep. This is my 5-year-old. He's gonna be a host someday.
Hi.
We got
All right,
advertise him playing.
Hi.
3 more years.
Hi.
Got it.
Hi.
He'll be beating
Go
us
lay
all
down.
in all the games.
I want to say hi to the
You said hi. You said hi like 20 times.
but it won't hear me.
They hear ya.
Do you?
I think this room is no longer in slow mode.
Do you?
They hear ya just fine. There's no sound coming back because otherwise it'll echo through the mic.
Echo do you know?
All right, so we've got technical setup there. We've got
Yeah.
By the music, I can get the music.
actually I'm gonna attempt something here. I don't know if this is gonna work because we're not nano anymore, but
No, you're ready, boy. You better go now. I'm not in you anymore. Ha 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 ha.
all right, so we're doing technical setup here. We're gonna do a clean stream here. Hang on just a second. We will be right back.
I'm trying to mod people. It's just not working.
Or should we just keep going with it? Let's just go with it. Let's just go live. I don't care.
Well, let's get it.
What?
Screw it. We're gonna do it live.
I mean, we're doing it
Let's
actually
go.
fairly decent. All right, so Word Art Online is a
Should
basically.
I play the music?
I don't have the music.
I do.
Ben
Then
does.
play it.
Get it now.
That was our Word Art Online was done by our composer Ben. He is now holding up his phone and distracted. Anyway, folks.
I was holding up my phone. That was the music playing, dude.
Yeah.
Through the phone.
I know.
So
Folks,
I did
this
it.
is Word Art Online, a writer's hangout. Basically, Ben, myself, and Matt.
I made everyone a moderator several times. Okay.
Ben, myself, and Matt are all aspiring writers, and our idea for this podcast hangout thing is eventually a podcast, but we are looking at just trying to inspire other writers through their journey of trying to figure out what it takes to be a writer. My 5-year-old is behind me and kind of giving me a good back rub, which is cool. So Ben, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'm gonna go put this little rascal down for bed, and I will be right back. And Ben, take it over.
Okay, well, I am Ben. I am mostly probably the technical director more than anything else because I'm computer whiz, got computer job, computer degree, computer pretty much everything. I've written, we'll call it 1 3/4 novels. Neither one is published. I'm currently going through each book to make sure that they're coherent and the world is created. I've created a Trello board for the world. I realized that I built these 2 novels based in a world, and I need to kind of make the world more coherent. Now, we also have Matt, so go ahead and introduce yourself, Matt.
All right. Yes, I am Matthew Nordine. I actually am just coming out with a poetry book on Thursday. It's going to be dropping. If you go to thewildcast.weebly.com, it should have a link to my website, matthewbnordine.com, which has a link to the book. It's coming out this Thursday. It's a collection of poetry that I wrote. Also, I got a flash fiction on Kindle only right now on Amazon. Kindle Select, so it can only be on Amazon for now. But hopefully that will be over on Smashwords. Probably be doing some more free days where you can get it for free for 24 hours. Maybe around the new year I might do something like that. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on a few other series and just writing as much as I can, trying to keep a day job.
Well, very cool. And of course, I'm your host, Joe. One of your hosts, Joe. I am an aspiring RPG adventure writer, currently doing freelance work through Harsh Realities. They are a company coming out with a seafaring campaign setting here next few months, hopefully. And I am kind of lead writer on it. I am currently writing the beasts for it. So that is pretty much us.
Do you want to talk about your LD37 thing that you did?
Yeah. For those of you that are following us on the interwebs, you can go to our website at waocast.weebly.com. You can see it up on the screen there. And
it's also in the chat.
Yep, you can also follow us on Twitter at WordArtOnline, the number 1, and that's on Twitter. So, LD37, which is Ludum Dare, or Ludum Dare, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is a game jam that is put on every couple months. Ludum Dare's website, I will get the link for it. Basically, what a game jam is you are challenged by a certain time frame to come up with a game. So, for example, the theme for this weekend's challenge was one room, and basically you have 48 hours to come up with a game that's centered around that theme. And I was kind of toying with the idea of doing a digital game, but I put up a post on my Twitter as a poll to see who would be interested in what kind of game I should make, whether it be a digital game, a tabletop RPG game, or even a tabletop board game. And I got 2 votes on it, and on a tabletop RPG. So I decided that with some encouragement from Blair and a couple other people, I decided to do a kind of a take on my Escape from the Con, which is a project I've been kind of proud about. And the idea behind Escape from the Con is everybody is at a science fiction convention when pretty much all hell breaks loose. And the idea that I had for the LD37 with the Ludum Dare 37 was with one room as the theme. I thought, what better way to express the core of one of the concepts behind Escape from the Con by having the one room be the server room inside the big hub. So the players are a couple of them are hackers, a couple of them are programmers and network administrators. But the idea is you have these swarm of bugs that are hitting the system, and it's up to you to kind of fend them off and figure out, okay, who and where are they coming from. It's kind of a hack and slash RPG thing. I didn't really have a lot of time to go over the exact mechanics of the game and flesh it out. I did complete it. I don't have it up online yet because most of it is handwritten, so I'm in the process of transferring that over. Basically, my process for a game jam is before the theme happens, is revealed, I like to make sure that I cover an outline, kind of a basic outline of what I'm planning on doing. If it's a digital game, I like to get all my assets together and make sure that I am ready to go in that area. I also like to make sure that I've got a good resource library available. If I'm making something new, which is rare, you should never do a brand new game when you're doing a game jam or brand new mechanic or engine, because the idea behind the 48-hour game jam is rapid prototyping. You are making something as fast as you can possibly go, and you don't really care about too much polish. If you have time, you can polish, but most of the good games that come out of there that are completed and ready to go, you have to break your game down to this minimum valuable product. And how this helps me as a writer is it definitely stretches my creative juices. I spent a good 2 hours trying to come up with a theme. I went for a drive to kind of get my head wrapped around it. I came back, I played some Stardew Valley to try to get my head around it, talked with a friend or two, and did some outlining, did some handwriting and stuff on it. And day 2 was fairly busy. I had to go back into work for a few hours. I'm a quality assurance tester, along with our co-host Ben here, and I was in there at work and plugging away at testing bugs, and while I'm waiting for the software to compile and load up, I'd sit there with a notebook and writing ideas and stuff out. I did come up with a new mechanic for Escape from the Con, which uses the 6S system that I'm using for Elfwood and Escape from the Con. The base system requires a target number. So say something as simple as and this is a dumbed down version, so bear with me. Say the target number or challenge rating is a simple task. Doesn't require a lot. So the target number may be a 2. We're talking tie your shoes. That's a number 2. Something more complex would be like hack the mainframe computer. So if you have the skill set for it, maybe that might be a target number of a 6. Because of the nature of the infection and the bugs that are coming at the players, I decided to use a deck of cards to set the difficulty and the target number of the event, so that way it brings an even harder or difficult setting for the game. And so I'm actually going to use that mechanic in Escape from the Con, which is pretty exciting to see. I walked away with not only a completed game that I'll publish at some point, but I also walked away with a new mechanic that I'm looking forward to using. And that's the idea behind rapid prototyping, is it's stretching your goals, stretching your skill set, and seeing where you want to go, or where you can go with your next one. Game jams happen all over the place. I do encourage anybody that's interested in learning more about game design, and even just if you're a hobbyist that wants to stretch your legs, or you're looking at trying to do a pro thing, Ludum Dare is a good resource for that. I'd also encourage people to check out Global Game Jam, which happens in January. I plan on doing something for that as well. I don't know if I'll do the full live stream like I did for this last one. I'm still trying to figure out how to live stream a tabletop RPG design sessions while it's up there. Yeah, it was a pretty exciting, pretty big rush. Right up until the end. Sunday rolled around. I was actually kind of busy a little bit on Sunday, so I wasn't able to work too much on it. But pretty much when I sat down to the computer after we got our running around done, and I was at a friend of mine's concert, music concert here in Lincoln, and ended up doing some of the design work on my phone while I was there, and taking some notes. I mean, it's, for me, when I'm sitting there listening to music, listening to classical music and stuff, that's when my creative juices really start flowing. And it's cool to also double that up on being able to support other artists, other creatives that are out there. So that was good.
I was gonna say I liked that idea of the cards on the with the challenge rating and stuff too. I think that's gonna be an awesome thing for Escape for the Con.
Yeah, and especially for those that don't know, I do present Escape from the Con at local conventions as a RPG improv. And eventually, the idea that I had behind Escape from the Con is I want to design it so much where you have an option to have a GM sitting there running it with you. So if you have somebody who's a good storyteller and they want to sit down and run the game with you or a group of friends, you're more than it's set up to do that. But I also want to set it up so that way you as the player, say you don't have a GM, you don't have a storyteller, but you want to role play. I want to I want to have an option where you take the GM out or the game master out of the setting, and that way everybody can still play. You can still role play. You can still have fun with it. I role play when I play Firefly board game. It's just a matter of how much depth your characters, your players want to put into the game. I'm hoping it might open up a few doors for people who aren't familiar with playing board games or role-playing games. It might kind of open up doors for them and bring more people into the hobby. So
yeah, then they find out that they like it and buy all the books and get hooked.
Exactly.
High success score.
Yep. 6S. The main 6S book will be. We're going to go through another layout design, I think, coming up, and then we're going to shift over to Promised Sands, which is the next big setup for it, or the next setting book, and then Elfwood will come out, and hopefully we'll start pumping out adventures for Elfwood and keeping that going. And then, of course, Escape from the Con is my own thing, so it's not technically a part of Harsh Realities yet. But I'm looking at self-publishing that. So,
speaking of writing, we're on
yeah.
track.
Nice.
I'm trying to keep us on track.
Yep.
That's my goal tonight.
Yep. I was looking at the time when I started, so we're trying to keep doing this.
As technical advisor, I realized you guys are not auto-hosting this channel.
I should be.
Well, when I went to everyone's site, it was only auto-hosting on mine. I was just worried because I thought maybe people were chatting on Joe's because we had more people normally on Joe's. Joe's famous.
Yep, I will make sure to host /
I don't know how to do that.
Go to the channel. Go to the channel. Go into the chat and push /host space word art online.
That'll automatically do it right now. And that's all that matters for right now. And then I'll show you guys later.
And it should pop up
that page is in another castle. I broke something. Okay, so you go. Okay, wait, what?
Go to your channel.
Yep.
And then.
Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah, we're having a little technical setup.
Again, this is the first week on a new channel where we've all now got Twitch channels. So basically, what we're trying to do is.
Yes.
So, I'll explain to everyone what's kind of going on with the Twitch channels while you guys figure that out. So basically,
how do I do
each want to do our own
incoming chat
Twitch occasionally, but word art we want to keep separate. So we're all on a word art. So what we can do with Twitch is you can do this thing called auto hosting. So every time, like, let's say I'm off, Joe's off, but Matt's on.
It's in the Hangout call, Matt.
It will then all of a sudden it will then auto host to every single one of our sites. But it'll auto-host under us, specifically. This way we keep word art separate from our own personal gaming. So it's so that's what we're kind of doing. And we want it to auto-host, and that way... But the thing about auto-hosting is what you guys as listeners need to know is that we're only going to be on, like, maybe the word art channel, seeing the chat log of that specific channel. Now, if you're on my channel watching this, you'll see up the very top that's saying, hey, I'm hosting this channel. You can go to the channel here with this little button and and do the chat there. If you do it on my channel, I won't see it because I'm inside the other channel, So you can just click go to that channel, and boom, it'll take you straight to that channel, and you can go ahead and start chatting away right there, and all will be fine. And that's this kind of cool thing that Twitch has now with auto hosting. And the problem is I realized if you add a bunch of hosts, you have to make sure you flip on the auto host toggle. I didn't realize that at first, and I was wondering why it wasn't auto hosting, because like I added a bunch of people I was hosting, and it wasn't auto hosting until I turned on auto hosting.
Which that's all part of the technical growth that we're hopefully doing with Word Art Online. I mean, when Matt and I first started this, we just wanted to encourage each other to write more. And we kind of got the idea of bringing Ben on during NaNoWriMo, which was last month, and we really got a good kick out of the trifecta we've got going on, and we're hopefully going to move this into a podcast, and I would like to do interviews of game developers and writers and stuff like that. I know these guys Matt's published and getting published, so we definitely want to have a place for people to come and find him on a regular basis, ask him questions about his world, why he killed off X characters. Mass genocide sometimes does happen as a writer. There's a T-shirt
probably from my podcast,
and Ben's pretty good with the podcast. He's got his Dr. Goofy Underground Inc. podcast. So we definitely want to just kind of have a place for creatives to come in every week and talk, and hopefully you learn something, you walk away with it, you share it with your friends. Our website, our Twitter, you can share any one of our sites, or any one of our Twitch channels, and when we go live on Word Art Online, it'll hopefully auto host over there, and
we're working on it.
Yep. So it's all a growth process. So
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to.
I will pull up something for you guys. I'll pull up a screenshot here for Matt, and we'll do that in separate chat. But
I can get us started on the word prompt right now too, if we want to do that while we work on the next.
Go ahead and do the word prompt. It is 9:25, so it's a good time, perfect time.
Yes. All right. So word prompt is it's kind of more of a census prompt. So if I try to go, it's gone. Oh, there. Okay. So the prompt is you're going to choose a scene from either your work in progress or one of your favorite stories. It could be a fan fiction, whatever. And the main character is now blindfolded. So you have to have them react to that scene as they would be blindfolded. So describing the different things that are going on in the scene, but not being able to actually say what they're seeing. It's about what they smell and taste or touch, things like that. So
smellies.
And for those of you that like gaming, after the stream is over, we sometimes log back in and do some gaming. So
I did a small Diablo one, but I haven't done one recently.
Yep, Diablo's been the primary thing. I do some Stardew Valley, which is not.
I got some Batman games on mine. I just haven't played them.
I look at games. I play games and stuff, and they're fun, but I'm more of a. I look at games from a game designer's perspective and how good the writing is with them, and so that's kind of the reason why I play games and what I usually play. So
basically, right now I'm sending Matt here and Joe a bunch of pictures on how to go to the settings to set up auto host.
All right, so you've got Matt's probably already got like 2,000 words or in. Because
you start that Twitch.tv. If you guys need to start, you start at Twitch.tv. You'll see in the top right your name. Then you click that, go to settings. From there, you should follow the screenshots, and they should be fine. But
We'll get that
we're all
figured
near
out
this. If we were all in the same area, or had time for technical setup ahead of time. But Matt has to be in Iowa. I miss Iowa though.
I know.
I'm originally from Iowa, where you guys are originally from Nebraska. And Matt's the one in Iowa, and I'm not. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you never
Toast
know.
toast.
You never know where life's definitely gonna bring you.
So then, okay, wait, hold on. So then I set on the auto hosting on my site and then add.
Yeah, as long as you make sure you toggle that auto hosting on, and then you add in whatever host. At the bottom, it'll say you can host randomly from this list, or you can host in order. I host randomly because whichever of you guys is on. I don't want to make anyone more important than the other than word art. But if word art's on, then all three of us are not gaming.
Yeah.
So I'm just like host randomly. That way, if you and Joe get on at the same time when I'm like napping, it'll just pick one of you at random and be like, "We're gonna host you."
Nice.
And
By the way,
our
we
listeners
are
have learned a little
sexy.
bit about Twitch as well.
Bringing sexy back.
We're bringing sexy back. That's definitely.
Yeah, I tried doing that so many times, and I've brought it back several times, but it just keeps dying off again.
Yeah. So channels to host. I don't know.
Yeah, for that you just type in our names like Dr. Goofy Mofo or Shadowfax. Word Art Online, all one
I don't
word.
want Twitch Prime.
I can get Twitch Prime if we ever need it. I just have to sign out of my Amazon and sign into my wife's. But from what I've understood, is there's no difference between Twitch Prime and Amazon Prime, so why even have Twitch Prime if you could have Amazon Prime?
Huh.
There's just...
Okay. Ah, I broke it.
Yes, I will let you. Blizzard Entertainment. This popped up. Do you want to connect your Blizzard Entertainment account? Yes. Yes, I would.
Yes, that's a grand idea.
Yeah, all my accounts are...
Phone number.
Well,
which one do you go to? This is
I
auto
think it's most
hosting,
because
but
again, I'm the crazy...
So, okay, so then, it should be popping up on my thing then? Or?
Yeah, and if as you're offline, it'll check it on, and it might... And if it isn't, when you're on your channel, you can do that little command in your chat, and it should automatically start hosting a different one.
Okay.
Like Joe had, you can go /host word art online, and it'll automatically just start hosting it for you, without you having to auto host. But the auto host is good because you can just leave your channel alone and just let it do its thing. And so what it does for people who don't know about auto hosting, I'll give everyone a little thing because I've read a bunch about it. So auto hosting turns all the... So if you are viewing us from Matt's page or my page or Joe's page, the viewers and everything else, everything gets counted for the Word Art Online page. The only thing that will not get counted for Word Art Online's specific page is the chat. The chat stays specific to each channel you are on. So if you are on one of ours watching and you want to chat with us, you will have to go to the Word Art Online page to actually chat with us.
Okay, it's still not showing up though on my page, the feed. How do I get that going?
Yeah, in your chat you just type /host.
there we go.
Space Word Art.
I am set up for auto hosting.
That's handy.
Okay, that's awesome, everyone. Hopefully it'll start working here, but if it doesn't, it doesn't.
And I can
Oh, there we go.
go back to my
Ah, got it. Okay, now we got it. Okay, the word prompt is over.
Yeah. We went a little bit long.
How'd you guys do?
3 minutes. We're only
1,000.
3 minutes off schedule here, guys.
7 million.
That's good.
300 and
However,
300 and plus words.
I'm gonna have to take a slight break here, where I'm gonna have to run upstairs and get my computer charge cable because I am on to this entire time, I've lost 66% battery, and we're only halfway done with the show, guys.
Well, that's
Oh, no.
exciting.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say I can jump to my.
Yeah, go for it, Matt. Go for it.
yep, you go ahead and talk to yours, and then I'll come back.
All right. So, I'm sorry, I'm still messing around with Twitch. Okay, cool, hosting stuff. Okay, so, I guess with brainstorming, it's kind of my topic that I picked, and the reason why is because it's a good place to start. You know, if you're starting your ideas on what you want to write for a story, the best way to do that is to just start coming up with ideas for stories, which is brainstorming. There's a few ways you can do this. One of the ways is by being observant of your surroundings. If you go to a place that there's a lot of good people watching, you know, coffee shops, malls, parks, stay away from children's playgrounds. But you know, if you just kind of watch people in their natural habitat, it often brings great stories. You can find characters for your stories, you can find settings, and you can eavesdrop on conversations, think of good story ideas that way. That's kind of a quick way to do that is just by going to a location and coming up with ideas for stories. Another way is to create a world. I actually prefer this way because then all my stories kind of revolve around a theme. So depending on what type of setting that you're thinking of, it's going to be fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk, anything like that. Like once you've narrowed down a genre, then start creating that world. What are some of the things you want? You know, it's like what's specifically unique about that world. You know, do the vampires sparkle? Do is it all run by lightning and Tesla stuff versus diesel or steampunk? And so once you kind of have that figured out, then you can get start creating stories and stuff off of that, and kind of spun from that world. You know, like who would be someone that you would find normally in that world? What kind of challenges would they face? And then just start writing down those questions. Another thing is that when you're brainstorming, what I like to do is come up with questions instead of just like a list of characters or a list of story ideas. I'll come up with questions like, what if rocks could die? That was one that I had earlier today.
That's a great question.
It's like, if the rock suddenly just died, what would happen? And so then based off a whole story about that, created an entire world off that. What if what was it? I think of another one the other day. There was, like if trees could suddenly speak to us, and that has already been done a lot of different ways, but you can come up with a new way. So just when it comes to brainstorm, you can either find a new location, you could ask those questions kind of in your space. If you've created a writing space to ask those questions, you could go there. Other thing is just to get with a group of people as well. Like which is why we do these hangouts, why we talk pretty much all day on hangouts, is just coming up with story ideas. Every once in a while we just chatting and think, oh, that's a great story idea. So just kind of,
and we've came up with some whoppers.
Yeah, exactly. So just kind of having that in mind as you're going throughout your day. Just think of, okay, hey, I'm gonna write a story, and I need some ideas. So then you just go throughout your day thinking of, okay, what are some good ideas that I could come up with? And it could be something ordinary that you just extend. I think I'm frozen on the chat.
Yeah, I think you are.
That's okay.
Shouldn't be.
I guess we technically both are. I mean,
Yes, we're all frozen. That's okay. It
Yeah,
You're
was
happens.
the other one.
you're still recording. You're still.
Oh, good. You can still hear us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess we're still good. So, those are kind of the places I would begin with, asking those open-ended questions. I always avoid. So actually, we're gonna start working on. Well, we are secretly working on a writing prompt book together, and with that, it's always best to avoid those closed-ended questions and work on open-ended questions. What that means is questions that are like, what does your character feel when it's rolling down the hill? It's a very just like, okay, well, it hurts. It's a very like, there's one answer to it. I mean, well, I shouldn't say there's one answer. There's many answers to it, but it's answerable. Like it's a finite question, whereas open-ended questions continue bringing more questions about it that
Like,
can
what
further
is at
progress
the end of the
story.
hill?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've started to fall down a hill. What are you rolling into? And then just going from there. So, asking those open-ended questions is another great way to start brainstorming. I don't know. You guys have any other thoughts about
One thing
brainstorming? What you guys
like to
do?
I'd like to stress, which has really kind of helped, is just having you guys or having a group of other writers or just creative things. Because Joe will come up with this really good idea, and then I'll make it better, or he'll come up with this, or I'll come up with this really good idea, and then he'll add something, or you will add something, or it's always good because you can start snowballing these ideas into this really, really something that's creative and unique, and it wasn't exactly came up by one person, but multiple. Just to have that group is actually very beneficial, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know for game design, when I'm sitting there, working on a well, like the game jam thing, you don't really have a lot of time to plan for what if, right? That theme is revealed, and you've got maybe less than 10-20 minutes to come up with a general direction, maybe an hour or two. But you got to get to a theme pretty fast. So having a good brainstorm of different ideas to come up with right away, it's definitely beneficial, and you can see what is your minimum valuable product to get through. And I think writers do the same thing, where you may have this grand story, you may have a bunch of little ideas that you want to do, but are all of those viable products, viable stories? Are they engaged? I did just earlier today. I had an idea for a silly way to propose to marry somebody, which was on a pirate galleon, or a big sailing galleon ship, and then you have another ship come up the side, and this whole long drawn out idea. But is that a good enough for a novel, a story, a short story? Maybe. But I brainstorm all the time. I used to have a notebook, and Matt saw it back in high school, where it was basically I would walk around and I would come up with a game idea and write out as much on it as I could, intending on later on down the road to coming back with coming back to it.
And with as old as we all are, we all have had that notebook. Nowadays, though, we have Trillos and Gmails and all other kinds of things. Trello is amazing for this because that's where I keep all my story ideas. And then I've started creating several boards per story, per story, per world, per this, and that. My boards are getting out of control.
I actually still use this, which is my book of stories where I will get a writing prompt and just start writing. And that's another great way to come up with story ideas, is just to start writing. Just grab a prompt and start going, and it's like, hey, I like that character, I'm gonna throw it in a book. One of the best examples was one short story I was writing. I don't even remember what story it was, but I just suddenly, as I was going on, it's like, oh, we found this book, and in this book it was like a medicine book, and you could pull the plants and stuff out of the book, and it became like this herbal spell casting book, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I'm going to use that in my story. So it finds its way into one of my stories.
Yep, something similar to that was actually what I based my entire first Nano on, which is a book that I'm going to be writing at some point, called The Tattooed Monk, but it's not really about a monk, it's about a wizard. And his tattoos are his spell book. So he's entirely covered in his spell book. And it's a finite spell book in a way, except he has a tattoo of a spell book that you can switch tattoos out with. But that's another thing. But the cool thing was, like, each tattoo is a spell, and that's
Nice.
kind of where they came up with the spell book idea.
Okay, so I'm gonna have us. We can just skip the second word sprint since we kind of did an extra long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the links about. Do you want to talk
Next
about?
one. Yeah. I'm not gonna have much. I mean, this was just kind of a cool idea I brought up. Matt might have more idea, but this is just kind of a. So what happened was I am a big fan of like BookBub and a bunch of other things and Sweet Books and stuff like that. So what they do is they send you Kindle deals every day for books that are under like $3, or they're free, or for this time only they're free. Okay, they're being advertised basically. Well, I bought a book called Silver about a werewolf. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I like to read about werewolves, and I started reading about it. And as I go outside in the middle of the night to take out the trash, I look up and there's the full moon. And the thing is because your mind's already thinking about werewolves because you're reading about it, it just kind of reinforces it. So it's mostly about planning how to sell something at that like moment in time. Thinking of like a full moon, you think of werewolves. You might want to read a werewolf book. You found one. It's free. Or you just found a werewolf book and you go outside, you see the full moon. Guess what? You're now thinking about the book again. It's marketing at its best, really, to be honest. Ways of spreading the word. Go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, if you think about it, it's the same is true with like movies and songs and things like that. Like you think of the big family movies that are coming out always happen around Christmas time, like Star Wars. It's like everyone's gonna bring their kid to see Star Wars, so it's around Christmas time when all the family's together, and all the family can get together and spend all their money to buy Star Wars tickets. So it's kind of genius. Or the stories turn to more like of a winter, colder feeling than it'd be weird to watch a movie about like surfers and stuff like that in February. If you're in the Midwest, just wouldn't work out so well.
Well, and timing is so key too, with like, especially if you have a political story or a politically driven story. I mean, we just went through one of the most difficult. Well, we're still going through the most difficult political things that happen in the U.S. where people vote for their new leaders, and sometimes that you get these politically placed movies. And while granted I don't agree with Rush Limbaugh's theory back when Mitt Romney was running and the Bane villain came out in the Batman movie, and he was making the tie between they're putting the Bane capital, they're referencing Bane capital and trying to get people negative things about that, so Romney can't win, blah 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 blah. I don't agree with that at all, because if anybody is a Batman fan, they know that Bane is one of the big big baddies for Batman. So,
or as Hillary said, all these kids playing Pokemon Go, why not Pokemon Go to the polls? That was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yes, because most of the people that play Pokemon still are not. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say all of them are like not. They're. I wouldn't say they're younger, because I mean I bumped into a 14-year-old that's playing. Well, 13-year-old that's playing, friend of mine, and.
Oh yeah, there was all kinds of ages at the parks and stuff we'd go to. So.
Yeah. I saw like a guy 10 years older than me with his son, and then I saw kids 10 years younger than me who were playing. Well, actually, I should say 20 years younger.
Speaking of which, we got our big update yesterday. Togepi and Pichu are now hatchable in Pokemon Go.
And
So-
Pikachu has a hat.
Speaking of, let's say, speaking of political stuff, we all know anyway that the whole election is just a reality show.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's
And yeah, and it's basically
that's
it's getting more and
that's
more
a theory
reality.
that that's a theory that I have that's going to turn into a book that may end up with me in a ditch.
Oh, see,
somewhere.
there was a
Hopefully
dude.
not.
There was a guy. I think it was it was either Bill Maher or Jon Stewart who said if they made the election into a reality TV show like American Idol, they'd have 10 times more voters at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Like people would
Ideas,
definitely go
ideas.
vote if they did like President Idol.
Shit.
Well, if you think about it, there was more voters this time around than the others. So,
A lot of
55% of people did not vote. Actually, this was like one of the lowest
but it's
votes.
still okay. Maybe so. I don't know. I can't back any of that up.
Yeah, like when it was
it's all just a theory.
when it was Obama, yes, we had like more votes than like had. That was like the historical high was around Obama, but an historical low is like what just happened because
Thanks.
people didn't and they hated both Hillary and Trump so much that they said screw it, I'm not voting.
Yep. I voted.
Or they did like Joe and voted for Cthulhu.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I could.
vote
I
for the
didn't.
ancient of evils.
I didn't want Hillary to win, and it's not because I'm a fan of Trump. It's just I'm not a fan of Hillary, and I couldn't, in good conscience, vote for pretty much any of the political presidents that they had, and I just figured it'd make a really good story to tell my kids one day that I voted for Cthulhu. So.
I always wanted to vote for Santa Claus because then every day would be like Christmas.
Yay! I'm a middle child, so I always go vote for the underdog. It's
That
one of
actually
those-
makes a weird sense because I had my friend when she was a middle child, she wanted to vote for Ross Perot really badly, so her parents actually like gave up one of their votes for her because they were like, okay, well you want to vote for him that badly, we'll do it. And at that time, I mean, she was going for the Green Party, and she was a middle child, and I was like, wow, well there you go.
Now I
However,
found there's a pirate party, which I just discovered after I voted, but I'm a pirate now.
there's a beer and sausage party, I think, or something like that too. I mean, there's some really cool parties out there. Again, but we went totally off topic to political when we were talking about sales marketing, and
That's all right.
see
Hey,
that's again,
See, we're marketing our show because it's political now.
yeah. Now see that's another thing is you can say, oh, this is happening in your book, it's happening in life, and that's the kind of the basis. If you can connect your book to what's happening in life. Now with Wares, that's kind of pretty simple. Now,
Well, I was gonna say that would be a great story too. If somebody from one of those political parties actually gets elected.
Yeah.
Like, what would happen if someone from the pirate party or the official monster raving loony party got elected? What would
That
happen?
would be
the
fun.
silly hat part. There's one that's a silly hat party, and all they wear is just like ridiculous hats.
Honestly, I'd kind of like to see what would happen. Like, and this happens in one of my stories, the looking for group story. Where it's like the local government kind of influences what happens at the game store because, I want to make sure that people that read Looking for Group are not only entertained, but because I'm writing it from the perspective of a game store owner, and I'm kind of basing some of the characters off of people that are at Gauntlet a lot. One of our political guys from here in town is an avid visitor of Gauntlet games, Roy Christensen, and I like talking with him about politics, and it's funny listening to him and a couple of the other guys talk because they're very polarized, and it doesn't get out of hand by any means, but it's definitely funny to see, and hopefully funny to tell later on. So, guys, it is 9:52. Matt, go ahead and do a shout out to your book that you've got coming and published.
Yes. Let me get the website up here. So on Thursday, my poetry collection is finally going to be available for the masses. It was through a micro publisher that picked me up as I was just kind of writing, or I'd posted a picture on Twitter about all my poetry, all my poems and stuff laying out, and as I was organizing them, she messaged me and said, "Hey, let's do this," and I said, "Hey, yeah, that's awesome." So we're now worked out a deal with her, and so that's coming out on Thursday. So she got the proof in already and said it looked good, and so I said, okay, so it sounds good to me. So I haven't seen it yet, so I'll see it when you guys all get it. There is actually right now 2 days left on our pre-order sale, which is 10% off if you order it through her website here, which I'm gonna put here in the chat. It's kind of a long address, but yeah.
But all you have to do is click it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and also if you go to my website, MatthewENordine.com, I have a link to it there too, so you can follow through that way. So right now it's 10% off until Thursday, and then it's the price on the back of the book, which is kind of exciting. We've got the price on the back of the book. So, and also it will also be available on Amazon, but I kind of want, well, I guess for me and the micro publisher, it helps if you purchase it directly through us, because then we don't have to share a little bit with Amazon too, because then it's, then makes the profit and loss a little bit better for micro publisher, and then I can eventually get paid for them.
That is one of the most massive website names I've ever seen in my life, and it's still WordPress, so it's a free site that they have built. Hey, if they work, they work. I mean, that's interesting.
Yes.
I thought.
I'm sure she'll have it shortened later, but she's the publisher's also new too, which is there's 4 of us now that are published through her. So
nice. Hey, maybe we'll all just end up being published through them now. I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's true.
Or am I?
I'll give her a good recommendation.
That's exciting.
So we got that. A couple things we also need to promote is going to our website, which is waocast.weebly.com. It's posted at the very top of the chat here. That's where we are going to post blog posts, which basically might contain something else. You can also see all of our links there. If you want to go to Matt's site, my site, Joe's site, any of those, they're all there. Links to our Twitches, our YouTubes, our Twitter, which is WordArtOnline1. We do not have a Facebook page because I've realized Facebook pages are not very great. No one really cares about them. But they do care about
nobody watches them.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've got an online presence now. We've got our own Twitch, our own website, our own Twitter.
Yeah.
If you need us, you can contact us through any one of those. We even have a specific email that you can contact right through the website. Just email that, and it'll mail all 3 of us. What happens when you email that email, however, you'll find out that, hey, that doesn't mean you're going to get the same email back. So, like, if you email it's WordOnline1, I think, at gmail.com, you'll get all 3 of us, and we'll email you from a personal account, probably. So,
yes.
Yep, eventually we'll have secretaries that will help us out.
Well, as soon as we get a website, for $12, I can hook us up with emails. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yes, we're taking donations, $12.
Eventually, we're going to get a Patreon going. Once we get enough of a following, if you're wanting to donate, you can. You're more than welcome to. Just contact us through the website, and we'll get you a PayPal that can accept it. And
or buy our books.
For other things from me personally, I guess that'll be coming out this week. Just came out this morning was where Underground Inc. did a Star Wars episode about Rogue One. We watched A New Hope with my friend Anthony, who joins us for that one. He had a lot of insight on Star Wars. And Thursday will come out a brand new Epic Log podcast where I will be reviewing another book. I have yet to know which book this is. I'm going to be reviewing. Probably going to be Hexed, which is an Iron Druid one. Well, what happened was I'm nowadays getting free books, or I'm listening to books at different times, and I never know what I'm going to do until I do it. And most of my writing stuff so normally with the Epic Log podcast, I review a book and talk about the book, and then I go into a little bit about writing. Well, I've been giving off all my writing stuff here, so it's mostly about book reviews, and they're now getting down to 15-minute podcasts, but they're fine. So that'll be coming out Thursday. Joe, anything for you?
Elfwood should be done.
Elfwood's done?
Not yet. It should be out sometime early January is what we're shooting for.
We'll make sure to make a huge blog post for that, and or Matt can also make a huge one for when his book comes out. Matt and I do both edit the site. Joe will eventually get to editing the site as well, I'm sure, but he just hasn't got around to it. He's a busy guy.
And I'm lazy.
Yep. And he can always just ask me or Matt to do it, because Matt runs his website, I run my website, we both run Word Art Online's website, so.
Yeah.
And Joe can run it, he just chooses not to. But he has the ability.
I'm a single dad. Come on, guys.
True.
That's true. You're more busy than I don't do anything. I just play Diablo, which I'm gonna do later.
Not yet. Not until your twins show up, according to my dreams. But yes, Matt visits my dreams every quite often. So
yeah, I play a little bit of Diablo every day, just trying to get through the acts, but just getting through all the acts in time, like to be able to travel like a madman like Matt does, it's taken quite a while.
Yep. All right, so for that, I think we'll call it because it's 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on episode 22. And next week we will be talking about gluten-free lawnmowers. So stay tuned.
Something about the hero's journey, probably.
Probably. But that's the topic of next week: gluten-free lawnmowers. So that'll be exciting. For Joe and the rest of the crew here at the Word Art Online Studios. This is, have a good day and keep writing, and you should write more and keep on that journey. So thank you all.